Well, we're back, everyone. We're still down here at the federal courthouse. We have had a group of supporters inside the courtroom, and they're coming out of the courtroom as we're speaking. They're still up there on the 7th floor, but they'll be working their way down, and we'll hopefully have some answers here of what the jurors were wanting to know. We was told a while ago they had some more questions, and so we're going to find out what those questions were. It will be just a moment before everyone gets downstairs. They're up on the 7th floor. So as of right now, I'm sure everyone knows what went on here, but the charges were, again, Greg Burleson was found guilty on 8 charges of the 10 charges. They were hung on all of the conspiracy charges and all the other charges except for 2 on Todd Engel. And Todd Engel was found guilty of interstate commerce, extortion, and obstruction of justice charge. That's it. Those charges, I'm being told, if Todd Engel, when he's sentenced, those charges alone will be time served. So Todd Engel could be out of jail very, very quickly here. That's what we're being told. And that sentencing is July 27th. If I'm remembering right, at 8 a.m. in the morning. Greg Burleson's sentencing date has already been set for July 26th, just the day before, at 8 a.m. So here we got them coming out of the courtroom right now. We'll see if we can get some updates on exactly what happened. So just bear with me just a moment here. And you want to? Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll. Okay. Here we go. Hold on just a minute here. So Andrea's here and she's got some updates.
So the jury went back in and they came back out and they said they are deadlocked. So a mistrial on all the remaining counts. They have a hearing on May 25th at 9 a.m. and their next trial is supposed to start June 26th at 8:30 a.m. Now that is the same date that the other trial is beginning. We're not sure if on May 25th that will change or not. So it still stands. They could not come to an agreement on count 1 or count 2, both of the conspiracy counts. They found Gregory Burleson guilty of all the other counts, and they found Todd Engel guilty of the obstruction of justice and the interstate travel to aid extortion. And everyone else, they couldn't come to an agreement and called it a mistrial. So that means the guys will probably be sent back out to Pahrump waiting. We're hoping that we'll get to fight for pretrial release again, and we wait till May 25th to find out what happens next.
Well, thank you, Andrea. So again, we've got a mistrial here. The jurors are hung on all the charges except the ones we just mentioned earlier on Greg Burleson, the 8 charges guilty, and Todd Engel on 2 smaller charges. I'm understanding those 2 smaller charges on him would be just time served, is what I'm being told at his sentencing, but I'm not 100% possible of that, but they are hung. Yes, I see Todd Engel family's commenting on here. It's a mistrial totally on the rest of the charges. They have set a new court date for trial on June 26th. That is the same date that Cliven, Ammon Bundy, Ryan Bundy, Pete Santilli, and Ryan Payne are supposed to be in trial that exact same date. So are they going to put off this speedy trial for them? That's a big question. There is so much injustice going on here in these courts because they can't handle supposedly all these defendants at once. It's horrible that they're still putting these trials on and continuing with it. The government still plans on, it looks like, retrying these guys in a future case, and they're saying it's going to be June 26th. So that's what we have for now. Looks like this case is done and it's over with, except we're going to restart the case all over again. As Andrea stated, it looks like the guys might be going back out to Pahrump while they wait the new trial date. So hopefully these attorneys can get their act together, get some a better plan for the next trial if it goes that far, if we don't get a dismissal beforehand on all this. But it's a big waste of money for taxpayers and for the government to have spent all this time, and this is all we've got up until now. So, you have anything else you want to say?
I saw somebody was saying, would it be a new judge? No, it's going to be the same judge and the same lawyers, I'm believing, unless someone tries to fire their lawyer. Not sure they will even allow that at this time.
Are they going to retry Greg Burleson on the conspiracy?
I don't know that. That is a good question. I'm not really sure, but I would guess probably yes.
So it looks like all of the guys may be retried, I should say, on the charges, even Greg Burleson on the 2 charges that they were hung on. That looks like maybe the plan. We're still in the dark somewhat here. Some of these answers will come together, hopefully yet today or tomorrow. But right now, we are officially done with this trial. It is a mistrial on all the additional charges except the guilty ones that they handed out today. So, thanks a lot, everybody, for hanging in with us.
Can you repeat the guilty charges one last time?
The guilty charges again on Greg Burleson
are assault on a federal officer, use and carry of a firearm, yes, he brandished it. Threatening a federal officer, use and carry of a firearm, yes, and yes, he brandished it. Obstruction of justice, interference with commerce, extortion, use and carry of a firearm in a crime of violence, and he brandished, and interstate travel to aid extortion.
But some of those charges, if you look at them, every one of them are duplicated. The assault on a federal officer, threatening a federal officer, those are the same, almost exact same charges. And then they've got count 6, count 15, and count 9. They're all gun charges, carrying a firearm in the act of those certain crimes. They're all like double jeopardy type charges. Them 3 charges are exactly the same. And some of the other charges there, like conspiracy, there's 2 conspiracy charges which are all hung on. We've got the brandishing. They charge them with 3 counts of brandishing on Greg Burleson. The news here of, it's sad, but Todd Engel had 2 guilty charges, but they're hung on all the rest. Those 2 guilty charges are lesser charges. The obstruction of justice and the interstate travel to aid extortion, those 2 charges would be time served, I'm understanding, when he's sentenced in July. So that's all I guess we have for you right now. I don't know when the next update I'll have at the moment, but this trial is officially over, and it looks like they're going to proceed with a retrial possibly on June 26th. Thank you again. God bless. Keep us in your prayers. It's been a long, hard 8-9 weeks down here for the families and everybody involved, and it's been very stressful. And none of us are wanting to go back through trial again, but it looks like that's what we're going to do. So, again, thanks again, and keep us in your prayers, and have a good day.
I posted a typed out verdicts from Greg Burleson and Todd Engel on my Facebook page.
So all those available. Verdicts, if you want to read them, you can go to Skipper's page, Jonathan Skipper, and you can look at his page there, and he's got all the verdicts actually listed out for everyone to read so they can actually see what it is.
Yeah, Maureen typed it out for us.
Could you do me a favor and go over it just real quick, because I got in here late.
Charges again?
Yeah, what happened?
So it's considered a mistrial, and they've set a new trial date as of June 26th. It's a new trial date. And it's the same date that Cliven and all the next tier is supposed to go up. So we don't know if it's overlapping or how they're doing this. But that was Cliven's trial date. We don't know if that's going to be put off. We've been fighting this speedy trial thing for a long time. So,
in my opinion,
yes,
she'll reschedule that. I mean, there's a calendar call date May 25th, which is very important. She'll probably, at that May 25th hearing, have some reschedule ideas. But this retrial will not be June. I would bet everything I own that it will not be June 26th.
So why is it not a hung jury but a mistrial? That's what I want.
So we are hearing here that it probably won't happen, that trial date. It'll probably be put off. But we don't know exactly. It is up in the air here. And we do have a lot of questions ourselves. But the guys were not found guilty on these charges. That's one thing we know. And we have to have a retrial here. So we have some more planning to do and a lot of praying to do, and we appreciate everybody's support.
And this brings opportunity for pretrial release, right?
It does. The guys are going to get hopefully a hearing here soon for pretrial release pending their new trial. So with everything that's come to light, let's just pray that that happens and these guys get to go home one way or the other, even if they have to face trial again at some other point. So
I think that covers questions, I think.
So it looks like that's probably all the questions.
Yeah.
Then, okay, well, thanks a lot, everybody. We will keep you updated with anything new that comes up. Have a good day.
The law is good if it can be used lawfully.
Right, we're in Karen's. But they're going to have boxes out. Karen, I am right outside the federal courthouse doors where earlier dozens of people were out here praying, supporting these 6 men and each other, including John Lamb, who came all the way from Bozeman, Montana. So when that verdict came down, what was going into your mind?
It was pretty emotional. I was not expecting what quite came out of it. I didn't expect quite a hung jury the way we got it. But it was quite emotional. I was overjoyed yet with the verdict that we got. It proves to me that there's some decisiveness in the jurors, and they're seeing through the last 8 weeks that we've been sitting through in court, that there's not a conspiracy here. And that was even proven with Greg Burleson. They found that gentleman there guilty on 8 of the charges, and 2 of the conspiracy charges, they're hung on it. So that was pretty amazing to me.
So what's the consensus amongst the people out here today?
They're overjoyed with still being a hung jury. We're happy that there wasn't more guilty verdicts than there was. So we're still praying, hopefully, that the jurors come back over the board and just say not guilty instead. But either way, it's better than a guilty verdict for sure.
Now, this trial has been going on for more than 2 months. How long do you plan to be out here for?
I'm here until it ends. I got here the first day of the trial, and I intend to stay till it's over with, till we find out an answer. I left my home in Montana to support these families, and I intend to stay here until it's over with.
John Lamb from Bozeman, Montana. He is not the only supporter who has told me similar